Well, I've been here about half an hour. Not had a touch on my favourite lure that I've been catching the last few days on the orange one. So tried a couple of little minnows, had a water come down, and I've just changed to this pink, for God's sake. So I've got it close to the bottom, as you can see. There's my drop shot. We've only, I don't know, what's that, 8 inches, and then onto the pink lure, and I've just had 2 fish in quick succession with it. So what there is in there that's pink that they eat, that's got them interested in that, God only knows. But anyway, we'll give it another shot and see. Need another bit of the magic wand, which I always use. That's something I've seen a guy that I follow on YouTube, Nicholas. I started using this on my pike lures, and certainly upped my catch rate. Well, I say up my catch rate, where I was getting fish following the lure in, as many as I will have done, following it, and then when they get into the bank side of the bank, they were just turning round and away. Well, that doesn't happen as much now with the smelt, wand, whatever on. I seem to prefer to have a go and take it, but anyway, we shall see what this brings. That's just a little chuck over to the far side. Done a best position for the camera there. Let's see if we can. Just trying to get it, hopefully, so you can see the tip of the rod. Now again, all that we're doing here is just a couple of nip backs like so, and tighten back up to the lead. A couple of little nudges, tighten back up to the lead. It's only about half a turn on the reel, so a couple of little nudges, half a turn. Couple of little nudges, half a turn, nudge, half a turn, and all that seems to do is possibly mimic that lure, as if though it's a fish feeding on the bottom. Perhaps there's a touch now, just got a bounce there. That's because this has got quite a long tail, this lure. Because it's quite a long tail, what you can have quite often is the rod tip will go a proper bounce. There's no question it's a perch, but there's nothing on it, because maybe, I think it's possibly that the perch has just grabbed and had a pull of the tail on the lure, which is what makes the tip bounce and rattle, but nothing on the end. Needless to say, on that front, what I always do when that happens is obviously get the hook sharpener out and make sure the hook's sharp, because obviously if the tip's rattling and the fish are taking it and you're not hooking up to them, it could very easily be the tip's not sharp, obviously. Nothing on that run, so another little chuck out. Follow out. As you can see, I'm just chucking. That's only a little swing. It's certainly not what anybody could describe as a cast. It's just a little underarm chuck or whatever, a little side chuck. But one thing definitely that I found, only having started this a couple of weeks ago or whatever, is obviously want to cover a lot of water. The more water you cover, the more chance of a fish, needless to say. It's the golden rule in lure fishing, whatever. But if you try and cast this, try and chuck it down to the halfway between in the lock gate, which is what I could do. I've had my if I was lure fishing for pike, I'd easily chuck that. If you try to do this rod's obviously not designed for that. It's a drop shotting rod. And if you try to do that, and I know because I've tried, needless to say, if you do try anything of a chuck, I'm guessing because of the really soft tip, you try a big chuck, tip bounces like mad, and very quickly you end up with some serious air knots in the line, some serious ones. So trying to cast, it's not something I'll ever be trying again, but hey ho, you've got to try, you don't know till you try. Yeah, what I've got on here, just the bottom end, it's 7 grams, it's the drop shot that I've got on, so it's only a little 7 gram affair for what I'm doing here, or for the actual just literally the drop shotting. There's again, there always this conversation goes on. There's a lot of conversation that this isn't actually drop shotting, throwing it over there and bringing it back in. Traditionally, a lot suggest and a lot say that this is just you lower it in the water in the front of you, and jig it up and down a couple of times and drop it in a little hole or a little lock cutting where you think there might be perch. You drop this in just to pretty much like that there, if the camera can see, is literally drop it in and just a couple of little lifts, lower, little lift, lower, little lift and lower. Now I can guarantee you that works without question, because that's what I had all the first fish on that I had. Because that was the advice I was given by people I spoke to, because that's what drop shotting's about, exactly what I'm doing there. But after I'd walked up and down here about a dozen times a few days ago and had nothing, that's where I figured, rather than up and down and crossing over the lock, was just to chuck the lure. Was just to chuck the lure to the other side and slowly bring it back in, and what do you know, that got me some fish. So if it gets me some fish, whether people believe that's the correct way to drop shot or not, it doesn't really matter. If it gets fish, then that's what we're all going out for. Obviously I'm not slung in there to cover the same bit of water, because that'd be a bit pointless. I'm just slung that out to my right. Same again, a couple of little nudges, reel back up to the lead, half a turn, a couple of little nudges, tighten back up to the lead, a couple of little nudges, tighten back up. But again, like anything really low fishing, if I was doing this for 20 minutes and not getting anything, obviously, as well as swapping the lure, although I've had to fish in quick succession on this lure, so I'll not be changing it too rapidly, but if I was doing this method and not been very successful at getting fish, then obviously the option's there to reel in a bit quicker, or just to let it stand for a while, which we'll just do that now and see what the story is. So I'm not reeling in at all now, I'm just letting that stand, because obviously some fish will come along, they'll just see that hanging 6-8 inches off the bottom, and they'll just have a grab at it, because that's what they do. Or maybe another fish that's down there would rather grab something that's it sees racing through the water a bit quicker. So if we just swap and change and start reeling again, we just swap and change everything, and obviously increases your chance of getting a fish. I would say this method that I'm doing here is obviously quite important, that you know that the bottom's not snaggy and certainly not bad for weed, or you'd spend most of your time getting snagged up. If I was somewhere that, obviously because I fished this now for many days, I know I know where there are a couple of snags, and I know where to avoid them now because I've run this rig across every inch of the bottom. But, if I went somewhere for the first time, I'd be wanting to make sure I found out quickly what there was on the bottom, so I wasn't getting snagged all the time. Well, we'll cover the water there, doesn't seem to. And I'll have another trip down that way, and then we'll have a move then, I think. So just over to the other side. As soon as that hits the water, I'm letting line pay off. Well, I say a line, it's jig silk, but I'm letting some pay off because it's about, I don't know, 15 foot deep or something. So I'm letting line pay out, so it gives the lead time to sink where it hit the water, rather than if I close the bail arm, as soon as it hits the water, well, obviously as it sinks it'll draw it closer to me, hence cover less water. That's what I do. It's not saying it's the right thing, it's just what I do, so it seems to make sense. All I'm doing, a couple of tugs, tighten back up to the lead, it's only about half a wind on the reel. Seems I'm suffering the usual fate of start catching fish, turn the camera on, stop catching fish, but anyway, I'll keep it running, so you can always clip something out, I suppose. Time around 1:45, to sandwich time, I think. So. Reeling it in a little bit quicker now, just see if it'll use a tape. I've little doubt that there are fish seeing this lure. This thing here must be absolutely stuffed silly with perch. So I'm sure there must be fish actually seeing the lure, I'm positive of it. But, as we're saying, what we need to do to induce a take, that's what we don't know. Let's try a bit further down, let's have a reel in here. Again. The camera, by the way, just in case you're wondering what the story is, the camera is actually, I've got it fitted onto the handle of my landing net. So we'll have a camera there and see, just leaning against my shoulder. So again, little chuck, just over to the far side, let a bit of line pay out. That's it, we're on the bottom. Or, if not close to the bottom. So, a couple of tugs. I feel a fish coming on. Must be due one. Well, well, well. There's a couple of jigs right in front of me just before I pull it out for another little chuck. Camera a bit high there, isn't it? Chuck down the middle. That's it now, it's on the bottom now. You could see that as the line was taking up. Well, when I got them two fish in quick succession, I thought I might have found something that we're keen on. Oh, hello. Yes, that'll do. That'll do. Don't feel too bad of one either. Oh, yes. That's what you want. I'll just get in as much as I can. Up to hand. There we go. There we go. Look. See, so I've swallowed all the way down. That's what I'm saying about the tail. You see, you look at. That's a big old hook as well, but don't be put off with the hook size, because that's what we've had everything on. But there's a lot of that to go down there before it gets to a hook. But you can see it works. So back in we go. And we're off.